Hello everyone and welcome to another Skaredcast tournament in review. Of course, today I'm taking my competitive Orks of Omen 2,000 point Drukhari list to a team event. 3 rounds, let's dive into the action.
The Dark Kid.
Now, this is a video where I take you to a 40k tournament. I run my competitive list, I play the games, I break it down, and then at the end of the video, we go over what I liked, what I didn't like, what I'm going to change, and what I'm going to keep the same. Let's dive into the army. So here are 2,000 points of Dark Eldar Drukhari. Now, this is an Orks of Omen army, which is an Orks of Omen detachment and a patrol detachment. And both of these combined are 2,000 points. So we're using a Cabal detachment for the Orks of Omen detachment, using either troops, troops as the compulsory choice. We have Drazar, the Master of Blades, as my warlord, so he can have Hatred Eternal. We have Archon Skari with a blast pistol and a Gin Blade that is the Husk Blade with Ancient Evil. Now, I did lose my old Dark Eldar Archon Skari model. So this is the classic Archon Skari model. He's back, baby. He was in a cell and he got released. We have 6 units of Cabalite Warriors, each with a blaster and a Phantasm grenade launcher. We have a Court of the Archon with 4 Slith, 4 Urgle, and a Lamian. 2 units of Incubi, or 3 units of Incubi, whichever way you want to do it, with Clavex with Demi-Claves, and one of them is a 6 strong unit. And to round it all off, 3 Raiders with Phantasm grenade launchers. Then we have a Dark Creed patrol detachment. So that is a Coven detachment. That does mean that the Reaver jet bikes and the Succubus that leads the patrol do not get their obsession. However, you can upgrade the Succubus to be a Master Succubus. So she is, with the Triptych Whip and Precision Blows. 6 Mandrakes, or People Drakes, because, you know. Then we've got either the Incubi, can be in either the big detachment or the patrol, whichever one you want. 2 units of 5 racks. 1 unit has an ossifactor. 2 units of 3 Reaver jet bikes, mainly for behind enemy lines. Each of them has a blaster on the sergeant. And 3 Venoms. 1 of them has Grizzly trophies. The other 2 have Grizzly trophies and chain snares. Now this gives me a -3 leadership bubble at 3 inches around each of those Venoms. It helps with combat attrition, and it basically makes my 9 Phantasm grenade launchers more effective, as well as the Torment helmets on the Incubi to make some fight lasts happen. So overall, I really like this list. I've been fine-tuning it for many months if you followed any of my tournament series. So the plan with this list is to basically fight pretty much anything I'm up against. I've made this list to be very flexible. There are very few matchups that I don't want to fight into. There are a couple that are tougher than others. However, even into like the new stuff that we're seeing on the block, I think the worst matchup would probably be like a Horde Genestealer Cult or something. But we'll see. I'm excited. And when we come back to the studio, we'll break it down. I'll tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, and all that stuff. But there you have it. And we are at the venue, Game Chamber, in London, Ontario, Canada. We have tea, we have snacks, we've had breakfast, we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go into the event. And here we are at the venue. The team's gathering around. So I wanted to show you how pairings work. Each team rolls for table pick. Then each team picks a defender. And that is one of the factions. Then, once revealed, each team will pick 2 attackers to attack that defender. And then what will happen is each team will pick one of the attackers to fight the defender. So you end up with 5 different pairings. So at the end of the day, until all 5, so in this round we got Custodies, Necrons, Chaos Knights, World Eaters, GC Cult Orks, Demons, and Harlequins, and Dark Eldar versus Necrons. And that is how we do each pairing. Round 1, I'm playing against Necrons as a Tesseract Vault, and a bunch of bikes and things like that, and lots of warriors and destroyers. and it is tied to convergence, so that's going to be very interesting. I did get to go first, so wish me luck in the first game. And that's the end of round number 1. Tesseract Bolt did kill a bunch of stuff. Drazar almost survived the entire game. It was a 14-6 for the Drukhari at the end of the game. I basically went first and really pushed in and tried to kill all the little units, like the little bikes and the scarabs, as quickly as possible. And of course, there was a chance where I could have killed the Transcendent. He had 6 wounds left, and he survived basically with 1 wound. It was annoying, but I almost got him. Almost did. Then he killed my succubus. Sad tears. Well, with that, I believe it is a round win for the Stud or Scrub team. And now we're moving on to lunch and round number 2.
We're gonna have some food. That's right, we're eating. We're all having fun as a team. Yay! Yay! We won our first round. Yay!
Okay, so round number 2, I got to play Orks, and it was an 81-81 tie. I believe the team did win the round. However, man, the Orks have some, those freebooters, lots of shooting. Actually had 2 planes in the list. It was really nuts. And I just ran out of tools very quickly. He came in on a second turn and really did a lot of damage, killing a whole bunch of my stuff. However, it was a tie, a draw, and I only have these 2 models left and that 1 rack left, and he still has everything else. So I'm okay with that. Other than that, let's go on to round and the final round, number 3, and then we'll go back to the studio and I'll talk about the new list, how I'm liking it, and if I might make any tweaks. Okay, so round 3 ended up playing against Angron, Exalted Possessed, Khorne Berserkers, even a Bloodthirster and a bunch of Bloodletters. It was a very, very close game. It was a 14-6. And at the end of the game, Angron survived with like 6 wounds left or something, and then he killed Archon Skari, but my succubus lived, which was awesome. But that is the end of my tournament today. This was definitely the toughest round. We'll see how we end up after all the scores come in, and then we'll go back to the studio. We'll talk about the list and how it did and how, anything I might change, because this is going to go to Canhammer Team Tournament, which is really exciting. We're very pumped for it. And we're back at the studio. What a fun event. So, Stud or Scrub, we came in second by battle points. It was very, very close. Congratulations to the first place holders and Sam Procopio and his team. We had a great round in that last round, which we drew. They ended up taking first place. We got second place, and we also got best painted. However, that was given to the second best painted team because we got second place. So that was pretty cool. So let's take a look at the list, what I thought and what I might change, as I have 2 big events coming up. So this weekend, I've got All Is Dust, which is happening in Petawawa, Ontario. So I'm really excited. I did submit this list, but we'll talk about it in a second. And we've got Canhammer Team Tournament, which is a 32-person team event, very similar to what we did today, this weekend. And so let's take a look at the army. Well, there you have it. Honestly, 2,000 points of Dark Eldar, Drukhari for all of you newcomers to the hobby. So what worked? Drazar is an absolute monster. He did bad things to every single opponent. The Archon's very, very useful. I mainly just put him in there for the fights last and having the court. The court, once again, is still, I think, one of the best units in the book. Into guard and stuff, it's a little harder now that you have less access to your field no pains because of the finial of the first. So things like racks and the court aren't really as durable in those matchups. I still need a little bit more practice into guard specifically with this list. Succubus did okay. Now, I had changed. So if you've noticed the Keen Eye, I've noticed that I've taken out the Ravager and I've added Mandrakes and I've added another unit of Reaver Jet Bikes, and I took 5 racks out of my list. Having the 2 units of Jet Bikes was absolutely incredible. I love being able to hide them in the back and then fly them forward to get points or to contest objectives, or it was excellent. And I've been rolling for their combat drugs, and so it's been really nice to have them get like +1 strength, +1 attack, +1 ballistic skill and leadership or toughness, and then usually I'll get at least one of the bikes to get the +3 inches of movement, which is all I need to really send that first unit over to get my easy behind enemy lines early in the game. The core of the list, of course, are the Kabalite Warriors in Raiders, and their blasters and Phantasm grenade launchers have proven time and time again that they are awesome. I love this list, absolutely love this list. And even though I've been tweaking a few of the things, do I want to change anything? Well, in true honesty, I'm not going to change anything from this list. I have played essentially the same list for months now. Ever since we started developing this list, thank you very much to Dustin from the Stutter Scrub podcast and channel that essentially helped create the initial framework of this list. And then over many games and place testing and missions and tournaments, I feel like this is like a fine-tuned version of the Arks of Omen version of this list. Now, I'm going to be using this list at the All Is Dust, which happens this weekend, and the Canhammer Team Tournament. And I'm very excited to come back after each event and tell you whether or not my thought process has changed. Do I like it? Do I not like it? You know, the Venoms are very fast. You put the Incubi in the Venoms. The Raiders are fast as well. You put all the Cavalites in the Raiders. The characters can either go on foot at first and then go into transports as you need, or you can deploy them outside. You can deep strike or reserve pretty much anything in your list. The Mandrakes and the Reaver jet bikes are great for retrieve data behind enemy lines, like all the secondary scoring. You can do take them alive with your crazy close combat contingent, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, they're not bad in close combat, but 7 main close combat units. You've got lots of the MSU, so multiple small units of troops. That's 8 different troop slots. So you can do actions, you can take objectives, you can contest the primary. And that's really what I found, especially into the World Eaters list, that the list composition just worked very well for what I needed to do. And there you have it, folks, 2,000 points. I'll put a list link down below, and you can go check out the full list. If you want to use it, feel free. I might be doing like a different style of list completely, but all in all, I think this is like the magnum opus of Drukhari list building right now. It's just what the meta needs at the time, and it can beat every single army in the game, in my opinion. Now, is it easy to play? No. You know, I've had games where I lose 10 of my units in a single turn because 9th edition is so killy. So it's not like point and click, but with practice, this is the style of list that I feel is the strongest right now in the meta for the Dark Eldar. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching. Like, share, subscribe, and if you would like to support me creating more content, check out Patreon. That is the best way to support me. The link is in the description. A huge shout out to all the Patreon denizens, without whom none of this would be possible. I hope you learned something today. Leave me a comment, let me know what that is. If you have any questions, I will be answering your comments in the comment section. Thanks a lot, everybody. I've been Skari, your grateful host. Signing off until next time, Skari out. Ah, the Dark Kid. Bye, everybody. Of course, we're going to be taking the... Whoop.